Hi, everyone. Welcome. It's good to see you all here. For those of you in Hong Kong, hope that you've weathered the storm okay today. Again, it's about studying together with a great group of classmates. It's about learning a lot. It's about building a professional network that will be with you for the rest of your career. And it's also about learning how to work with and learn from a lot of other very, very talented people. One of these people is here with us tonight, Nina Pan. So Nina is one of our DIMBA students, Digital MBA students. Let me just briefly introduce her, and then we're going to get into a bit of discussion so we can learn more from her experience. Okay. Nina currently holds the position of Chief Procurement Officer and Greater China Commercial Director for Avolta Group in the Asia Pacific region. Avolta Group is the global #1 travel retail company. They manage retail, food, and beverage outlets in airports and downtown duty-free stores. They have a revenue of over 14 billion US dollars. So a very large company. After she completes her digital MBA studies, she's going to be transitioning to a new role as Vice President, Commercial Strategy for North America. So she's changing career curves. In this capacity, she will oversee a crucial region with a revenue of 5 billion US dollars, and this is going to be a big opportunity for her. Her background includes roles in retail, procurement, and business development. She's worked for companies like Diesel Brands, LVMH Group, Puma Retail, Airporti di Roma, Marcolin Eyewear, and Qatar Duty Free. So just a very international career, lots of different companies. So very, very privileged to have Nina here with us today. We're going to be able to hear from her experience. And let me just share with her now. Okay. So Nina, thank you for joining us. Had a just brief chance to introduce you, and would love to have you share a bit more, about your experience with this group of potential applicants for a digital MBA program. So thanks for joining us, Nina.
Thank you, Professor Shih.
Great. So Nina, maybe as a start, could you just tell us a little bit about why did you choose HKUST's Digital MBA program, and why did that fit you when you were thinking about your career?
Okay. I think, well, I chose initially, I've decided to pursue an MBA degree because I was at a point where I want to progress with my career from retail buying and merchandising, category management to corporate strategy. So I needed to do this. I needed to have a more well-rounded preparation in business administration and, and to have a accelerated course on innovations and on top of my professional experience. So HKUST DI MBA program was perfect for me, I would say, because it gave me the flexibility I needed because I was traveling 50% of the time. And so it would be almost impossible for me to attend all the sessions in person. So this flexibility gave me the confidence, to be able to follow the coursework. So I would say, in a nutshell, this is definitely what I was looking for. And then, just on a side note, I joined DIMBA in 2022 because at that time it was during COVID. Well, actually during COVID, the early stages, I was made redundant and from a very senior role. So I had to sort of start all over again, putting myself on the job market, and in a very uncertain recovery market. So at that time, I've already started looking at, taking executive courses on innovation and leadership. So it was the best way for me to break through the impasse, so to speak, and just look beyond the career plateau. And like you've just mentioned earlier in the talk, there are two curves to our career, and the HKUST program, MBA, DI MBA program definitely set me on the second curve.
Great. And let's talk a bit more about the program and how it's helped you to be useful in meeting your future goals. Are there certain courses that you recall, and can you just share a bit about, what was it that's helped you to further develop and grow?
Okay. So, initially, well, I start with the liberal arts degree. I have a degree in art history, an MA and an MBA. But by chance, I, got into fashion, retail buying and merchandising. So I learned through experience and just worked my way up in the past 20 years. And but in order for me to fulfill my future goals or to think big, think ahead, I needed, the foundations such as corporate finance, economics, financial accounting, investment analysis, or so these were some of the courses that gave me the foundation that I needed. And at the same time, in order to hone my soft skills and uh, have deepen my managerial competencies, I took courses in strategic management, management consulting, management of organizations, and these were also very important to give me that the basis. And then other courses like on blockchain, digital and social media strategy, digital transformation, really broadened my horizon on the ways to apply these new learnings in a traditional business like retail. So, I think these are some of the courses that I really gained a lot. And since my company has been going through corporate transformation with successive mergers and acquisitions, plus digital retail and marketing transformation at the same time, I've been able to see how the learnings that I've, from the learnings that I take that I've been able to accumulate, I'm able to apply them right away in my job. So I think this is, the DMB MBA course has been extremely practical.
Yeah, it's great to hear that you've been able to use it immediately in your job. So, thinking back on the last almost 2 years, are there one or two events that have impressed you the most and just kind of that really think about?
Well, actually, yes, I mean, actually a lot of events, but I would say one of the best things about this project, this program is that I've been able to, learn tremendously from working with the student groups on our group projects. It's a perfect way to learn and to network with each other. So I would say, we, even though we're online and we're in different countries, but we come together and it actually makes the learning experience much more personal and effective. So just to give an example, I took a course in management consulting, and it was actually quite demanding because we had to submit a presentation every week for 7 weeks straight. But the entire the learning experience has been fantastic because all of the students are quite committed and supportive of each other while we work under pressure. So I would say the group learning, the HKUST digital plus together is a great way to to learn together and be able to how do you say and be able to really look at the connecting outside, connecting outward to
Hmm.
apply that into practice.
Great. If you were to try to summarize, what are like the values, the key value that you got out of the program, how would you summarize that?
Well, definitely, I would say it's been an amazing journey of personal growth.
Hmm.
First, second, it it is a stepping stone to my career advancement because without this degree, um, I would not be able to qualify for to apply for a role on strategy, corporate strategy. And then networking, that's definitely important. This course enabled me to connect with students from different industry, from banking, insurance, private entrepreneurs, businesses, as well as retail, manufacturing, and so forth. So it's been great to be able to broaden my network.
Yeah, on that topic of networking, can you share a bit more? It's a digital program. You got students from all over Asia, different cities around. How have you gotten to know your classmates?
Um, I would say the first week, the global the first week of induction was extremely important. We got to work together, know each other, but also, from there on, we get to know when we're doing our own group work, we get to, look at examples from different industries. That's definitely a plus. And I would say if we're looking through the DI MBA program, the experience, from the orientation up until the last course, we are always quite very connected. So whenever there's a job opportunity or an opening, we would share it amongst ourselves to see if there are any connections, that we know who would be interested, or if there's, say, for example, a new program, or even if it's just a prototype, we would share with each other and start bouncing ideas off each other. So an example would be one of the students, one of my colleagues, approached me with a program for online, procurement, bidding for procurement contracts. So that was actually quite interesting because, I immediately looked at it and say, "Oh, let's see what if there's any, savings that I can deliver for my company through this type of digital procurement program." So it's, I think a lot of the new ideas are coming through from our classmates, and it's definitely, um, you know, uh, given me an additional layer of interaction with with the students.
Hmm. Wow. And look, I know you have a busy job. You're traveling a lot for work. This is an intense job, and you're able to do the MBA at the same time. Can you share any tips for people thinking about that? And it's always
Yeah.
difficult, right? How do you think about time management and keeping yourself motivated for this type of program?
Yeah. Yeah, and initially, 2 years seems really long. And it's like, wow, it sounded quite daunting, but we sort of break it down into courses, right? Which is a no-brainer. I would say if you were to take 2 courses, 3 courses a semester, it's you could do it. If you study, well, in my case, I
Hmm.
studied about 2 hours every day, you know, um, reading assignments or, going on the virtual courses, and then, just doing a little bit every day. Um, I think it made it, much more manageable instead of just, crashing it towards the weekend. Um, and definitely, because I was traveling 50% of the time, and I was carrying out 2 roles. Um, it was demanding sometimes, but I would say, you know, it's the what Plutarch mentioned earlier, right? It's the fire in you. When you've got that fire lit in you, it's searching for knowledge and searching for fun, um, gaining from the learning experience. Time flies so quickly, and the entire experience is just very rewarding. Yeah.
Hey, great. Thank you, Nina. What, Let me pause here and see if there's any questions from any of the audience. So we've tried to give you a flavor for for the MBA program and a sense of the experience, but I imagine that some of you may have additional questions. So feel free to type them into the chat, and we can answer any questions that you may have. Well, while you're thinking, let me ask one more question. Nina, any wrap-up advice, tips for the audience?
Well, I would say DIMBA is the best investment I've ever done for myself, and I only wish I had joined the program earlier. So like many people, I think you might wonder, well, how do you make that step? When I sent out the application, it was, a step towards this commitment. Let's see. And then, once I got accepted, I was really thrilled, but, also aware of, the work, the commitment coming, ahead. But then, you just do it step by step, course by course. And if you choose something that you really love to do and that you really want to learn something out of it, you'll make it through. So I think um, it does take a little bit of courage, but rest assured that everybody, people and students in the same cohort, in the same class, are will be there to support each other. Because I think we all want each other to succeed, because that's how we bonded, through this course, via either it's virtually or online or offline. The distance really didn't matter. And I think a lot of the professor and student interaction is also very, very good. Professors usually have office hours for groups to contact them online or by email. TAs are always readily available. So I think connection isn't, and sometimes it's also quite informal. We would connect through Slack. So all of us are in the being participating in the discussion together, learning together. So that was also good. Very, very helpful. So I would say just go for it. Whether depending on where you are in your career. For me, learning never stops. And no matter how where even though I've worked 20 years, if I could have done this course earlier, I would have. But I think it's all about the right moment. And I think if you're joining in this webinar today, it's probably the right moment for you to think about and take the leap. And so now, after 2 years, I'll be taking my last course through at the Global Immersion course in UCLA, Anderson School of Management. And we not just myself, but the entire cohort is super psyched, to participate in this course to conclude the MBA. Yeah, so just go for it.
Great. Thanks, Nina. We do have one question here, so it would be good to get your thoughts. The question is about whether having a lot of work experience or not much work experience, how does that impact being able to keep up with the material being taught during the class? So interesting, and maybe you can reflect on both yourself and maybe some classmates that who might have fewer years of experience.
Yes. I would say if you have 3 to 5 years of experience, it's also a good moment to join, because um like I said, in the DIMBA course, age isn't really not an issue, experience is not an issue. It's more about what you can bring to table and what you can get out of the course, from your students, from the fellow students, and also from the professor, the course itself. It does. I would say in our cohort, we've got very senior people and also middle people who are in their 40s as well as 30s. We bring different energy, we bring different perspective to the class discussion, which I think it just adds more variety to the course.
Thanks. Just a couple thoughts for me on that question. So when we look for applicants who have fewer years of work experience, we do look for applicants who are going to be confident and comfortable working with, students with more experience. But we have had students with fewer years of experience, 3 to 5 years, who are able to make a big impact in the program. And similarly, for students who have a lot of experience, 20 years more or more than that, we do look for students who are going to be willing to learn from others, right? And who want to embrace the community and who really want to hear different viewpoints. So good. Okay, well, let me just share a little bit about the application process. Nina, thank you again for joining us. And thanks. It's great to hear that you've had a good experience in the program, and congratulations again on your new role. I'm so
Thank
excited for
you.
you. It's just
Thank you.
a great
I wouldn't have
opportunity.
gotten it without the DI MBA, for sure.
All
So
right.
that was one of the prerequisites.
Okay, great. Well, thanks, Nina. So everyone else, let me just go back to our presentation and share a little bit more on the application process. So who are we looking for? We are looking for future-oriented leaders, people who want to challenge themselves with a rigorous world-class program. And we're looking for people with a track record of achievement and resilience. So what we mean by that is we're not expecting perfect people, right? But we are expecting people who, if you failed, if you've made a mistake, you've been able to learn from it, and you've been able to be resilient. And we're looking for people that want to contribute to the cohort. Again, the community of learning is so important. People that want to connect and people that want to make a difference.